Some stories sound like urban legends. Until you find the date, the place, and the names. The past kept events so strange that the official explanation still feels incomplete. Tonight, you will see 4 real cases that feel as if they escaped from a nightmare. First, a city where people started dancing and could not stop. In July of 1518, in Strasbourg, a woman reportedly stepped into the street and began to dance. There was no music. No celebration. Only movement, sweat, and frightened eyes. Within days, dozens were doing the same. Some accounts speak of hundreds. The authorities called doctors. Their answer was almost as strange as the illness. They believed the dancers needed to keep dancing until the body released itself. So they opened halls, hired musicians, and tried to turn collapse into treatment. But if the mind was trapped in a trance, the music may have fed the fire. To this day, there is no agreement. Ergot, mass hysteria, hunger, religious fear. Or all of it. The question that remains is simple: how much suffering can a city hold before it breaks? The second story was born in Chicago, during a fair that promised to reveal the future. While the city celebrated progress, one man was building a mask. Herman Webster Mudgett became known as H. Holmes. Doctor, con man, and murderer. Newspapers called his building the Murder Castle. And exaggerated almost everything. They claimed it had secret chambers, impossible passages, and rooms designed to make people vanish. But the most disturbing part is that the lie grew on top of real crimes. Holmes was convicted for killing Benjamin Pitzel, a crime tied to an insurance scheme. He confessed to dozens of murders. Some of the supposed victims, however, were still alive. The true horror was not a perfect castle. It was how easily the public believed in one. Sometimes, the real monster does not need a maze. It only needs a headline. The third story happened far away, in a fortress surrounded by marshes. In 1915, Osowiec fortress resisted German assaults on the Eastern Front. The Russian defenders were isolated, exhausted, and nearly unprotected against gas. Before dawn on August 6, the wind finally moved in the attackers' favor. Then came the gas. Chlorine, according to many accounts. A low cloud, heavy and almost alive. Many died. Others covered their faces with wet cloth and waited for the final assault. German soldiers advanced, believing they would find only bodies. But from the fog came men who could still fight. Coughing blood, burned by gas, they counterattacked. The scene became military legend. The episode became known as the Attack of the Dead Men. It was not supernatural. It was the human body at the absolute edge of survival. The final story begins with something beautiful: watch dials that glowed in the dark. In the early 20th century, young women painted watches with radium-based paint. They were told it was safe. Some even painted their nails and teeth for fun. To sharpen the brush, they were instructed to touch the bristles to their lips. Every shift, tiny amounts of radium entered the body. Invisible. Silent. Permanent. Then came pain, loose teeth, fragile bones, and a condition later called radium jaw. The Radium Girls fought in court while some could no longer raise their arms. Their fight helped change workplace safety laws. But for many, it came too late. Strasbourg danced. Chicago believed. Osowiec breathed poison. And factories sold blow as a promise. History does not need ghosts to be terrifying. Comment which story deserves a full episode.